Assalamualaikum and very good day to our lecturer, Sir Fairuz bin Adnan. Today, our group will be presenting on the topic Understanding how a sole proprietorship records and process accounting to prepare financial statements. Before we begin, let me introduce my group member. They are Muhammad Nur Tafiz bin Muhammad Razi, Ahmad Ridwan bin Ahmad Zainul Hadi, Nur Emira Natasha binti Muhammad Sofyan, Nur Wahida binti Jamil, and myself, Muhammad Fazwan bin Muhammad Zainuddin. Here is a quick look at what we will cover today. We will start with the introduction and our objective, then move on to the business background of our case study. After that, we'll dive into the balance sheet, analysis, and the income statement. Finally, we offer an evaluation with some suggestion and wrap up everything with a conclusion. All right, let's begin our first selection, the introduction and objective. So the main objective of this project was to really understand the complete accounting cycle of a sole proprietorship. We wanted to see how a business goes from collecting source documents, like receipts and invoice, all the way to preparing its final financial statements. It was challenging to find a business willing to share their details, but we were fortunate to be able to study a law firm, Muhammad Zainuddin & Co. Now, I pass the floor to who will explain more about the business background.
Thank you, Fazwan. Assalamualaikum. Now I will be presenting on the business background, giving you a profile of our case study, Muhammad Zainuddin & Co. Okay, so here are the detail of the business. The firm is named Muhammad Zainuddin & Co. and it's a sole proprietorship owned by a single individual. It's a law firm located in Selangor and has been in operation since 2006. The firm's main activity is providing legal service like conveyancing and litigation. As a sole proprietorship, the firm has a few key characteristics. First, being a single owner means they have full control over all business decisions. Also, all the profit generated belong directly to the owner. However, there is a significant risk involved, which is unlimited personal liability. This means the owner is personally responsible for all the business debts, and lastly is relatively simple business structure to set up. To manage the risk I just mentioned, especially for a law firm, having professional indemnity insurance is crucial. This firm has coverage up to 250,000 ringgit, which is help to protect the owner against potential legal claims and financial loss. And with that, I will now pass to Ridwan to discuss the balance sheet. Thank you.
Thank you, Tafiz. Now we will move on to the balance sheet analysis, where we examine the financial position of the firm. Before looking at the figures, it is important to understand the main components of a balance sheet. Assets refer to the economic resources owned by the business that provide future economic benefits, such as cash and office equipment. Liabilities represent the obligations owed to external parties. For a law firm, this includes money held on behalf of clients, which is considered a liability because it does not belong to the firm. Equity represents the owner's interest in business and is the remaining value after all liabilities are deducted from total assets. Looking at the firm's financial position, we can compare the figures at the beginning and at the end of the year 2024. This indicates that although there was some improvement, the firm continued to face financial challenges. To better understand the firm's performance throughout the year, I will now hand over the presentation to Amirah, who will explain the income statement and accounting process.
Alright, so thank you, Ridwan. So for the next section, we'll be looking at the income statement and the film recording process to see how they perform and manage their accounting procedure. So here's the summary of the income statement for the year. The film total income was 72,741 ringgit. After deducting expenses, they actually had an operating loss. But due to the some others income, they managed to end the year with very small net profit, just for 945 ringgit and 93 cents. Alright, so how does the firm handle the accounting? So actually, they follow the accounting cycle, which involves 7 keys of steps. So we start with collecting all the source document and do the journalizing and post it to the ledger and do a trial balance. After making this necessary adjustment, the financial statements are prepared and finally the accounts are closed. Alright, so here's the important note to know that this firm outsourced accounting firm to do this entire process. So I'm passing this presentation to Wahida to continue with the evaluation.
Thank you, Amira. Now, for the final parts of our presentation, I will be discussing our evaluation of the current system and providing some suggestions for improvement. When we look at their process of outsourcing their accounting, there are clear strengths and weaknesses. The strengths are pretty significant. It ensures accuracy and compliance, gives them access to professional expertise, its costs and it frees up the owner's time. On the other hand, the weaknesses include having limited real-time access to financial data, a heavy reliance on third party, the risk of supplying incomplete documents, and limited in-house accounting knowledge. Based on this analysis, our group has come up with a few suggestions for improvement. First, we recommend to adopt cloud-based accounting software. This would give the owner real-time insight into their finance. We also suggest providing some basic internal accounting training, establishing more regular structured communication with their accountants, and using a checklist for document submission could also prevent errors. And finally, as they grow, they should plan for more scalable solutions. Next, we will move to our conclusion. To sum up, this case study of Muhammad Zainuddin and Co. has given us really practical insight into the accounting practice of a sole proprietorship. It clearly highlights the trade-off a small business owner has to make, specifically balancing the accuracy you get from outsourcing against the need for better internal access and control over financial information. What it really drives home is that a well-structured accounting system is absolutely vital for any small business. That brings us to the end for our presentation. Thank you.